Welcome back. We are continuing on in the substance in this lovely body horror film that will not make you uncomfortable at
all. My name is Tommy.
I'm Kyle.
And we have...
special guest star Basil.
Yeah, so let's get right back into it. This is part 2 of our review of The Substance. But yeah, in the end of day 7 approaches, and so we cut to the bathroom and we see the switch. Right, we get the last part of this process.
More figure it out and stick these needles where you think they should go. Situation.
Yeah,
she makes sure to be very careful with this new body.
Yeah. Elizabeth is still catatonic. Eyes still just wide open, on the floor still. And so Sue sets up the switch, and basically they're transferring blood. It looks like it's two tubes, and we see blood leaving Sue and then blood leaving Elizabeth, and they pass by each other on their respective tubes going into each other. They're basically switching out,
swapping consciousness.
Yeah, or they're one of them is switching off and the other is switching on, and we see the mechanism of it, which is just blood transfer. It's very, again, it's like witchcrafty almost, but it's they're exchanging vital essence.
And Sue kind of watches it, and it's very similar to what happened with Elizabeth with Substance, because at first she's like, okay, I guess something's happening or maybe nothing's happening, and then we get the quick shot of those two yellow balls of clay being smashed together real quick, and then she just sort of passes out and falls face first onto Elizabeth.
And we get, this is a very, very odd vision. We get a vision of, looks like a biker riding from a point in a distance on a road at night, and it's just riding right at you, like from our POV, which is that of the camera, and just menacingly, kind of slow motion, just riding right into the camera. And at that moment, Elizabeth wakes up in agony with a scream. What do y'all make of the image of the biker? I've been thinking about this.
I honestly, that's one of the things I didn't really interpret much at all. I wish I had more insight on that, because the only other time we see this is there's a character that rides a motorcycle and such. But I didn't really link the two, because I have it written down. I was like, lonely motorcycle shot. It's not nearly as just like abstract or visual as the other things, the spinning lights, the sort of enter the void thing.
It probably just like hits you like a truck metaphor type of situation.
Almost,
like you just
almost wonder if this was like a death figure, right? Like some kind of dark rider. I don't know.
You're smacked back into existence.
It feels menacing, whatever it is, but not clear what that's about.
But this is an awful way for Elizabeth to wake up, because she now has a person she does not know on top of her. They're both naked. And then as she's sort of processing that first, she's like, oh, get off. But then she feels her back pain and is like, oh, no. Oh, my God. What is this? Again, incredibly rudimentary and gruesome repair job that sewed her up. This was not a clinical professional that took the place here with this.
We had only a week to heal.
A week, that you're...
Exactly.
Oof.
Yeah, we cut to her in the kitchen, and she's frying up 2 eggs. Just again continuing our dueling egg.
She must be
metaphor.
starving after only having that little bag of food for 7 days.
You're right. We can imagine she's been existing on nutrient paste while healing from traumatic surgery scars. But we cut to her in the shower. We see her scars down her back. And again, her shower is just not nearly as magical as Sue's. It just never is.
It's even worse than the last time she took a shower.
Yeah, it feels darker, and the sound of the water is even harsher. It's just awful. We transition to the studio. She's at the red hallway, but all of her posters are gone, and it's just this bare hallway, just nothing, and just her by herself with her legacy gone.
Just her in the shining carpet.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
But she's spotted by. Has he got his name yet? I mean, I have it written down. I looked it up, frankly, at some point.
He still hasn't been named.
So she's spotted by
yet.
Dennis Quaid, her producer, whatnot, who makes his way down the hallway. And it kind of funny. It just take a while for him to get down there. But he's like, oh, there she is.
It's a long hallway.
She kind of saunters down with unearned confidence, like a Vince McMahon, the WW, the Wrestler Federation guy.
Where have you been?
Yeah. He's
the one time he's far away from you, it's also just as awkward because then you have to spend even more time watching him awkwardly saunter towards you.
Like you're probably just dreading every moment of it, like, oh God, he's getting closer.
And he's approaching Elizabeth with a box of her personal items. The thing you'd receive from your office job if you just lost your job or you got fired or unceremoniously suddenly laid off, right? You'd be given a box of all your personal items collected in it. Again, she has not been told that she's fired. This has never been stated to her, not even once. Again, just everyone going through the motions. Now she's being presented with her personal items. The producer says he wants to have a drink with her for her departure. Like she's just going on a temporary trip. Apparently his wife has a book for her to keep her busy.
It's a gift. It's wrapped up. It doesn't
for her birthday. Yeah, it's a birthday gift.
But also like this is a temporary thing. It's not like her departure. What does that even mean? Like that? Yeah. Again, just it's like gaslighting or just pure disrespect or just like belittling her,
tiptoeing around.
Yeah, but just never just stating you're fired.
It's bullshitting too because I mean like he goes on this whole like. Not even a rant, but it's just like he has a one-sided conversation. Elizabeth literally says nothing this entire time. He's just talking himself. He's like, oh, people have been looking for you. Oh, here's your stuff. Oh, we got you a gift. We all chipped in and got you a gift. Oh, I got to go or something. And then he's off again. It's just, he says he loves his wife at one point, which I kind of question, or at least.
My wife, like, loved this when she was going through, I think, like her pregnancy or something.
She swears by this. I had to go back. He actually like mumbled that line or something. I had to like turn subtitles on to be like, what did his wife do? But like, so it's a wife gift. But yeah, he's not a wife guy, we assume. We've seen that he only really cherishes women for what they can do for him. But wives do things for you. So that's probably why he loves his wife.
But we get a tie-in with her encounter with Fred earlier. Something that I forgot to note. Towards the end of her exchange with Fred, when she receives his phone number after it's dropped in mud and soaked, he says, "Now you've got it." And it's just the weirdest thing, like the way he says it, like the inflection is all wrong and off. And then we get the same
it's a twisting of her catchphrase is the thing. Because she's just on the...
Yeah, exactly. But it just sounds just weird the way he says it. And then we get the same thing again with the producer as the last thing he says, great to see you. Great to see you. It, like he just emphasizes it in just the wrong way. And it just sounds, I don't know. Like I was trying to figure out what does this sound like? Just the way that he says it makes it weird somehow. I don't know. It's just,
it shows why he's not in show business.
Yeah, it's just it's kind of a surreal quality. Again, one of these elements that just kind of unsettles you in a way that allows you to accept just all the strange oddness going on. Like just a reminder that this is an odd world. I don't know. I've been trying to think about what this element means. It's
just a schmuck because any other person would wait for like her to say anything really before walking back off. But like I said, just a whirlwind comes down the hall, talks at her, and then just leaves. Even though she presumably gave him decades, at least years of service. I mean, all the posters down the wall. She was his cash cow, quite literally, or something.
But you can imagine, it might have been like 25 years, right? If we can guess what Sue's age seems like, it's perhaps around that age, 24. 25, and if she's being shit canned at 50, it's like, wow, that's 25 years at least, maybe more than that. Yeah. So but yeah, you're right, she doesn't say a single thing. She just gets talked over the entire time after her legacy has been stripped from the walls too. She's bowled over with this, but we cut to her at home and we see her, she's marking her wall calendar with her on and off days, like with her days and Sue's days,
counting down the days of when she can be Sue again,
and allocating in time, like scheduling it basically, like if you're borrowing someone's car, right? But we get the feeling that she's like stuck at home, right?
She's got nothing to do.
She's got nothing to do. She's just watching TV and just seems trapped. And
it's an interesting thing too, like her shot, because after we see her in the kitchen and the camera is just one like continuous shot. After she's done marking out the calendar, she walks around the corner and we see the TV turn on, but there's just a wall in the way of her. She's literally out of frame. Yeah, she's just at home. She's there. She's not really present or something in this. It's I don't know, just a neat little.
Just in like
maybe some early signs of depression.
Yeah, just retirement hell, or just. It just depression, which is understandable, I would think. But she has some mail, and we see a notice from it looks like DD, the logo of the substance. Again, it's kind of like the egg yolks, right? There's two yellow kind of similar objects put right next to each other, but they're different, but they look and they are the same. It's this metaphor again and again.
Maybe like the coming at it from the back.
Yeah. But she's got a refill kit, and so she's got to make another trek to the locker. She's in her yellow coat, the same desolate place and all that, but she comes back and she still seems trapped. It's just kind of has a very desperate kind of hopeless vibe about her. Like,
it just doesn't seem like she has anywhere to be. Like, I mean, it seems like work was her life, because when we talked about her not having anybody, it's not like she's going out to be like, now I have more time to spend with my kids or with my friends or with my something.
With my life. Oh, wait.
That was it. Yeah, that's my life.
And now she has time to watch TV, seemingly.
It's very, very despondent. Just it's a sad scene, but she it's like she's waiting for the switch, like waiting for her younger self to be activated, and we see her just kind of closing a door, and the next moment it's Sue opening it, and the switch has already happened, and we're already back into Sue's life, and she's radiant, and the light is more golden and sunny, and the music is now party music, and it's just now everything is more vibrant and just better, right? And she walks into the living room, and she sees the TV on, and it's like QVC, or like Home Shopping Network. It's old people TV. Just very much, it's the TV that your older, like your mother would watch.
With the indents on the couch.
Indents on the couch.
Like she's just been, she hasn't been doing anything else other than just sitting there watching old people TV, and she just kind of has a real look of contempt.
It disgusts her.
Yeah,
I read as pity. Yeah, is what I wrote down here. It's
and I'd say all three of these things: contempt, pity, and disgust. Yeah,
What a waste of a life.
Yeah, and it's just the contempt of the young for the old, and it's just it's gross.
That goes further, because the next thing we see is Sue kind of walking around the house, seems to be tired of looking at Elizabeth's body just laying in her bathroom. And I mean, obviously very handy. I don't know if this came from Elizabeth herself or if she was born with a knowledge of sewing and construction work, but she gets to work, doing construction, to kind of knocking around the house to be like, what could I wear as like a hollow wall or something I could put a secret room in for my body, the body room.
Exactly. And so she starts going to work, construction, knocking down a wall.
Mind you, she can't ask anybody to come help, because they would obviously see.
It's like, what? How do you make that request?
Oh no, this is just me. No.
I don't worry about that. It's fine.
No.
But I need a body room, please, built into the bathroom. Yeah, exactly.
Lights? It doesn't need lights.
Secret entry, like very, very low key.
Basic comforts.
Yeah,
no.
It doesn't need AC, wiring, any of this stuff. Just
doesn't need carpet, make it more comfortable.
But she's going to town on the wall. She disturbs her neighbor, Oliver. Comes over angrily, knocking on her door, and she walks to the door, opens it, and just just beauty crushes him.
She knows exactly what she's doing. She knows the power she holds over this ugly man.
She's just serene and calm, and she has this this easy, casual, beautiful, lazy smile, and he just withers under the beauty.
Mind you, he's banging on the door before this.
Yeah.
He's yelling.
He's very aggressive, thinking that it's Elizabeth, and so
noise complaint for all the tear down of the walls.
But just some open contempt for an older woman by this schmuck. And just again, the misogyny just never lets up. And even his reaction to Sue is just very much in that vein. Oh, you're beautiful. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that you were beautiful.
Yeah.
Please excuse me.
My bad. Yeah. Because it diffuses him is what I
have a big hammer.
For. He does, talk about his big hammer. He's like, you know what I mean, immediately goes into hitting on her mode, and it's just like all thoughts of anger are gone because, oh, sorry, I defer to a beautiful person, and that is how the world often works. It's just the world beautiful people walk in is very different at times than,
especially for women. It's just painfully so much more acute for women too. Just once he knew that she was beautiful, suddenly she was respectable or should be shown this kind of deference.
He even stutters whenever he's asked his name.
Just beauty crushed. But sends him on his way, returns to work, and we let's see, where were we?
Well, she's kind of just nonplussed by this attempt to hit on her, knows she's hot shit, closes the door on him, and then we see a new Sue billboard right in front of the window as she finishes touching on all that stuff that our ladies have been wistfully staring out of. And then she goes and puts Elizabeth in her new dark body room and also decides, you know what, while I'm at it, I'm going to put this giant Elizabeth picture in there as well because fuck that. I don't want her anymore in here looking over me.
Elizabeth was in the living room at this time, and Sue just drags her up the stairs in the living room, presumably just banging
from the feet.
Dragging her by the feet, just banging her head the whole time, just dragging her like a sack of potatoes. It doesn't seem very caring or compassionate.
I'm sure she won't feel that.
No. Despite being one, Sue's already sort of rejecting the half of her she needs to share with, and is like, "I'm going to put you away."
Well,
I'm not really respecting that.
They seem to share their hatred for Elizabeth. Elizabeth hated herself, and Sue hates Elizabeth.
There's a consensus on this, and they're the same person, and both halves agree on this, and so they both are disgusted with Elizabeth. Yeah,
and on the flip side, they both love Sue.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's the thing that they do agree on. They perhaps don't want to admit various parts of this agreement at times, but it is true. It's just It's
now I know, Kyle, you keep mentioning like that. It's very clear that your opinion is that these are two different people. From the way that you word,
I think there's a lot of that.
There's a lot of tension. It's not clear that they are the same or that they are different. There's a lot of real tension in this.
And I think the ways that, as it unfolds and develops, you see her act in certain ways that are very anti-Elizabeth on stuff. And part of this, I mean, even what happened is essentially driving home the fact that there's no place in this world for Elizabeth. You will go in the dark back room here while I live out in the light and in the world with the people.
But Elizabeth shares that same...
Oh, she does. And I mean, she doesn't go out either. And so I don't disagree. I think that's an astute point to be like they both have sort of a consensus on that she doesn't deserve to be out there. And those are the messages the world is giving her, and so
as we'll talk about, the actions that unfold don't really make any sense unless you just presume they are the same. You can't really understand anyone's motivation unless you take this as given, as we'll talk about. But Sue takes down Elizabeth's giant portrait in the living room and puts her own portrait up in its place. And last of the scene is Sue closing the door of this new hideaway space on her, almost like a tomb. It's dark. There's no light. Elizabeth is on the floor. It's almost like she's a mummy, and Sue is closing the door on her sepulcher. It's very, again, it's like witchy, almost kind of like necromancy and like burying the dead. Yeah, it's just very great imagery.
I was thinking like a skeleton in the closet.
It's I think you hit it right on the head there. Yeah, it's her very real skeleton in the closet, for sure. Her dirty little secret. Yeah. We cut to the Pump It Up show. This is Sue's.
It's so delicious.
And it's such a contrast from the show that we see being recorded with Elizabeth before she's fired. Pump It Up is just so sexed out.
It did just like the title says.
They pump it up and it's just twerking and gyrating pelvises and butt shots and hole shots and just pussy shots galore, bumping and pumping and coy winks and dewy lips and just
blowing kisses. It's very dripping with sex.
Arms up and sweat and just
sweating. Yeah, it glistening. Like they turned up the volume.
Yeah, but just the camera just constantly is right up on the dancers' pelvises, especially the women, and we get another association of fertility with beauty. This kind of gross, joking implication of the producer earlier with at the restaurant with Elizabeth about, when a woman turns 50, it just kind of stops, and now the camera's just focusing on Sue's pelvis constantly, like her womb is what draws is the center of gravity for this. Yeah,
it's very lurid, and I mean, absolutely sexed up for this. But like Margaret Qualley, the person that plays Sue, is like a trained dancer. But she said doing these scenes in this show specifically just made her so uncomfortable, almost to tears and stuff in interviews, because it was like, not this type of dancing. Like that's not what I do. Like this is. Wow.
Yeah,
it made her very self-conscious. She had a lot of prosthetics and a lot of like hair extensions. Like she doesn't look like that. She's a very like, as I would describe it, a very classical beauty in the real world. And so to be like sexualized to this level is very
the actress,
jarring.
The actress was going through the themes of the movie while filming it. Yeah, exactly.
She did have prosthetic titties. Like when she looks in the mirror and you see Margaret Qualley's, those are prosthetics of her boobs. Yeah, I think it's her ass because I mean they both do nude scenes in this. But yes, there's things going on there that
I don't
really
even think it's her ass either. I think that's also a prosthetic.
Might not be, but
an ass double.
She's an itty bitty little girl.
Right. Yeah. No, that actually is a great side note about the production, how it started mirroring itself.
So I have down, is this correct that she also bids farewell in the show saying, remember to take care of yourself? Does she do Elizabeth's?
She does reference it at the end of the show.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then we see the Shining hallway now just has one big Sue poster on it. All of Elizabeth's stuff is gone.
It's her first photo shoot.
Yeah, the beginning of her legacy. Yeah, exactly. And so we things are looking great for Sue. She's been super sexually objectified. And we transition to.
It's not going to change because she gets all dolled up in a cat suit next and says to Elizabeth that she won't be out late, but not to eat too fast because there's just a little food matrix left in there, frankly.
She's sucking it up.
And not just a cat suit. This is a badass leather outfit with heels, and it's kind of like snake leather too.
I think
like,
they're Louboutins.
Yeah. No, this is a hell of an outfit. Just looks absolutely badass in it. But Elizabeth is running out of her food matrix, but Sue's going out late, and so just jokingly advises her, "Don't eat too fast." But Sue is out. Doesn't seem terribly concerned with the whole food situation, but also this means that the switch is coming too, and doesn't seem terribly
or is
concerned.
Already due.
Yeah. It's we're getting right up to the deadline, and she's going out to party. We see Sue has stayed out late. We kind of see the light shifting in the room as it goes from night to the very beginning of very, very early morning, but it's that late. And so we get the sense that Sue is staying out way too late, and the switch should have already happened. And this
maybe
is
a clock
critical.
strikes midnight reference for
Yeah.
Cinderella.
Very much that, yeah. Pumpkin time,
Cinderella,
frankly.
yeah.
And she brings back a
Yeah.
sexy, this is the motorcycle boy, this is Troy, the motorcycle man.
Oh, he has a
And
name.
yeah, he does have a name.
Oh, that's right.
Brings back a boy toy. She is very dominant in this, and just accented by her leather outfit, but she is on top. You know, she throws Troy down and then straddles him. But we cut to back to Elizabeth, and the food bag it's real low. It's clearly getting critical, and we cut back to Sue, and her nose starts bleeding, and we start getting all the signs of
the ears muffled, ringing.
Elizabeth kind of like groans because she's gotten past the food bag. Really, it starts to like crumple up in a way where she's like, her body's trying to consume something that isn't there.
Everything's getting sucked out of it, including the air after a point. Like it's that critical. But Sue is also in a critical state. Looks like she's starting to die again.
Right, she got Troy's shirt off, but then she starts to, her nose bleeds, and she's like, kind of drips, maybe on him even as she gets off. He's like, "Are you okay?"
Just like the suggestion of, is she on her period, maybe, or whatnot. But
everyone gets nosebleeds like that on their period.
Yeah, nose periods. Yeah,
exactly.
It's a gay man's anatomy knowledge of a woman, right?
I think straight men know even less than us, if I'm being honest.
But it plays on that kind of traditional scenario of like, oopsie, like I'm on my period, but it's
got some blood on
you.
you.
But it's bleeding for a different reason. Yeah. She runs to the bathroom. She's fading. We see like what we can imagine her perspective as it's getting kind of delirious and
time's
distorted.
running out.
Yeah.
She gets a mental flash of the "you must switch back every day without exception," and lingers
switch,
mentally.
no exception.
Like the shot zooms in on exception even there, just like the "were" earlier and then the letter. And but she concocts a plan. She's like, exception.
What if we took the "no" out of that? Exactly.
It'll just be a Dexter day.
Yeah.
What could go wrong?
What possible harm could happen? But she makes a fateful decision. She takes just a bit more fluid so she can finish out the night instead of doing the switch. She injects it, and it seems to revitalize her just immediately.
She could have had Elizabeth go back out and be like, "Hey, my daughter, she's not feeling so well. But I think she's going to call it a night."
But Sue makes a very fateful decision. And she goes back out to Troy, and even Troy notes, "Oh, you seem even more beautiful than you did before."
Yeah.
But he's unzipping her outfit, and we get this grotesque image of all of her organs just spilling out of her back, and then we cut back to Elizabeth, and she wakes up from this kind of nightmare, and she's back, and we see Sue there, and the switch has happened, and now Sue is unconscious, and Elizabeth is awake, and she's shambling out, kind of ragged and disoriented, and this time it's her finding the aftermath of her counterparts living. First Sue finds old person TV and the imprint in the chair, and now Elizabeth is finding the place is trash from partying.
She doesn't have time to clean. She's got to make every second count.
She's got to do hot girl shit. But
exactly.
it looks like a college apartment or a dorm, living.
Why would she clean up when Elizabeth's got nothing else to do?
It basically leaving it for mom to clean.
Exactly.
But it's also a statement about Sue. She's reckless. She's just kind of trashing the place. She is showing some disregard, perhaps
full of herself, maybe.
Perhaps a bit full of herself, and she did not switch when she was supposed to, right? And so Elizabeth is shambling out, finding the evidence of partying and whatnot. Finds a note from Troy about his bike helmet, and that's when we see her gnarled finger when she's reaching for the note, and she sees it in that instant that the audience does, and is taken aback by it.
Looks just like almost like a fungal infection, decomposing,
like a crone's finger, or like a witch's finger.
She like reaches for it, and we don't even see it immediately as the audience, but there's a sound effect that's like very creepy, and then she pulls it up, and like a witch's finger, or like just very aged.
It's just her right index finger.
Yeah, it's just one finger, but your right index finger, which is perhaps it's one of your most pronounced fingers. It's your pointing finger. Mm-hmm. It's a very significant digit to have that happen to.
It couldn't happen to her toe, her pinky toe.
Yeah, it's maybe your most conspicuous finger. Mm-hmm. It's the one that you use the most individually, perhaps. And it's now
when you're writing, it's the one that's on top.
Yeah. It's your indicator finger. It's like your voice when you're using your finger. And now it's seemingly disfigured. She runs to the bathroom. She tries to scrub it away like it's just dirt or something, but it's permanent. It's just, this is her finger. She looks in the mirror. She sees a syringe mark in her back, and it's like she winces at the pain. And she starts putting it together, what happened, like what Sue did.
Right. It's like a red welt, and it's very clear that what Sue has done has consequences at this point.
That she took a bit more fluid than she should have. She delayed the switch when that is the most prominent instruction to receive. No exceptions. You must switch. And so
I don't know. All the instructions seem pretty prominent. Like they're
yeah, I mean that one was on there. That's true. The needles. I mean, maybe give me some instructions on where to stick these needles. But that one was clear.
I was gonna say the instructions that were given were all very single use.
They're all very direct, but this is the one where you get a hint at consequences when you're advised no exceptions. They usually mean something, and so it's the one with the warning that she ignores. And so we cut to Elizabeth calling the original number for the substance.
Well, she's a very experienced white woman. She calls support immediately to put in a complaint and ask how to fix this problem.
Exactly. I would go full Karen too. If I woke up with a witch's finger.
Excuse me.
There's been some sort of misunderstanding.
No, she definitely wants to talk to someone's manager, understandably. So she calls the number, and it's the voice again. The same in the pitch that was on the thumb drive, the same that she has talked to in setting up, receiving the package and the refills and all of that. And she makes her complaint.
She has got to fix the problem, and she's told by the voice that what is used on one side is lost on the other, and that there's no going back. And she obviously doesn't like that answer and continues inquiring, saying that Elizabeth didn't know what she was thinking. And this is part of where my these are two people thing comes in, is because the voice obviously responds back and is like, there is no she, you are one, and you got to respect the balance, and there won't be issues. And then she just the guy hangs up on her. But the fact that they both refer to each other as she time and again in a bit of what goes on next is where I just question. I wonder if they're the exact same person, or if the consciousness truly does switch, or if there's some bit left and they're sharing some things or some bits.
They're distinct, but they're different, but maybe they're not distinct.
I think I can explain this a little bit better. So from my point of view and how I experience the film is that they are the same person. However, they are experiencing life very differently.
Yeah.
Which shapes people's actions.
They are the same person, but they are in different places.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
I could also see this film being told through in a timeline that is not linear, where Sue represents what Elizabeth once was and is going through all the same motions to get to the point where she got.
Mm-hmm.
So
no, I can imagine that. But they are separated, if not separate. Again, just these kind of these contradictions of terms seemingly, and yet
and I mean the film goes out of its way to say over and over, remember, you are one, but also like twins were once one, and then they split, much like we see in this film, and then they're very different beings. To me, it's less clear than it's not as clear cut. I wouldn't fully say that like these were the same people, because they make decisions that harm each other at times, and so it just doesn't jive to me that if you had full cognizance and you were the same full person each time, that you would make these same decisions. But that's part of, I think it's interesting. It's fun to debate, because I came out of the movie having that question, and you could argue for either side, frankly, in my opinion.
I mean, no, this is for me, it's just a person that really, really just hates themselves. And so they are going through all the motions of somebody that hates themselves, going through the destructive actions that come along with it.
Yeah, someone who both hates and loves themselves at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely.
But maybe loves one part of themselves and hates the other part. It's again, it's not a contradiction to say that they do and they don't hate themselves, or they do and they don't love themselves. Yeah,
they both hate the same part of themselves, and they both love the same part of themselves.
Exactly. And so we can perhaps understand through the contradiction how they could be the same person, and also it just creates that air of mystery about this. Like there's something almost metaphysical happening.
Another point I want to make is like if Elizabeth isn't experiencing everything that Sue is, what would be the point? Why? Like, if she's just going to pass out and just be miserable, even more miserable than she was before, what would be the point in the effort?
Well, I think we're getting to that moment with Elizabeth when she starts realizing this conundrum, right? But we find Elizabeth vacuuming and cleaning up after Sue. She sees Sue's Pump It Up show on TV, and she's enthralled by it. Like, just Sue is so beautiful, and that's her.
She's like, that's me.
And she's just enthralled. It's just magical to her. And I felt like she looked also maybe kind of both sad and furious at the same time, right? Like she was furious that this was true and that she wanted this so much, and sad that she wanted it so much. And it appears to also now be starting to destroy her. It's, again, it's just this kind of look of like trapped helplessness.
I think that's another one of those parallels between like a mother seeing her daughter succeed and like fulfilling her dreams.
Yeah, and I could read that metaphor as a lot better than being like fully one person, because you wouldn't feel supplanted or mad if it was you out there. You'd probably just take a week doing whatever the fuck. But like, I mean, and she does have to clean up after her own self in this sense as well and whatnot.
And there are a lot of things about this film that are it proceeds like it's true without ever saying that it's true. Kind of like her getting fired. No one ever just says you're fired. In their relationship, it's like a mother-daughter relationship. And Sue kind of jokes about it earlier, but without ever it really being explicitly stated. Yeah, it's like a mother-daughter drama.
And in this moment that she sees the world basically like being introduced to Sue and loving her and whatnot, she gets interrupted by the horny neighbor sort of knocking on the door and asking after her. It's just, fumbling over himself. She doesn't answer the door really. But I mean, she sees her.
I saw your show.
Yeah. He's tries to invite her over, just sort of forces himself upon her in the way that he talks.
Just being a pest. Just a pest.
But Elizabeth sees her workplace, her previous workplace wanting Sue, the world wanting Sue, and now her neighbor wanting Sue. But who wants her is the thing.
Yeah.
Because Sue doesn't also. Sue puts her in a room and whatnot.
And Elizabeth doesn't even want Elizabeth. And that's the problem.
I think it starts to become that, because especially when she sees all of this, it's that she doesn't... It just gets harder and harder. And I mean, there's a conversation or things that talk about this later. But I don't know. It's interesting. I can be maybe argued down, but I still just see that as a 2 because of the ways her reactions to it don't seem to indicate like, that's me. It's me. I'm doing this. It's kind of like
it would almost seem like they're becoming different people, but it's just perhaps they are the same person, and it's just this conflict unfolding, right? And so it's maybe like two warring conflicting parts of someone that are growing ever more conflicting.
I think the lifestyle changes are just so jarring that it makes it seem like it's two different people.
Yeah.
There's like a.
True.
I'll look it up. There's a Paul Rudd show though where there's a similar thing where on Netflix where it's like you're going to be the perfect version of you. I'm going to put you in here, and they go in and they essentially have a perfect version pop out, but they're supposed to kill the old one, unbeknownst to the person that signed up for this, and they mess up killing Paul Rudd's like main character, and so they both end up existing in the same world, and so there is a perfect version of him out there that's making everyone else in the world happy, much like Sue is doing here, but he's still there, and he's like, but I'm me, but I'm like, I'm okay, like, you know, I'm kind of good, like, just like Elizabeth's like, I'm pretty good still and stuff, and so it drew parallels to that with me also, and that, but in that show they're clearly not the same person as well. They're both two separate entities, and I'm gathering that from
and we're getting to that part of the film where Elizabeth is having this realization of this dilemma, right? She gets another notice of a refill. She kind of has a look of resignation on her about going to get it. She goes to the receiving room and she hears like odd voices, almost like from the other side of the wall. Like there's something going on, or she's hearing something, and it's like making her very anxious. And
before that, on the phone call with the operator, with the narrator guy, he asked her a very specific question: would you like to stop? To which she absolutely like, no, that is not even an option. Like, of course not. She
just outright refuses to end this, and so she's conflicted, but she still wants this to happen. She just is hating what it's doing to her, but that's not the same thing as wanting it to stop. Yeah, exactly. And so, in that sense, they are the same person. At least they're aligned. We can consider them to be the same person because they don't disagree. I mean, they're conflicted, but they have this odd consensus.
I think that's the next phone call, because she, with just the finger, is not completely off put by it yet to the point where she wants it to stop. She's just like, hey, there just needs to be balance. And then the guy's like, so do balance. Boop, hang up. He's what every like customer service rep wishes they could be, and just be like, well, fuck you, bye.
I don't remember if it's like this phone call or the next phone call where she was like, the balance just needs to be respected. So respect it.
Yeah.
Click.
I believe that's the next one.
I think it's the next one. But so I'm pretty sure he's still asked.
But she's getting the refill kit. She hears like voices or something like from the other side of the wall in that post box room, and so it weirds her out. She bolts. She's running, and she ducks into a diner.
I think she's sort of being followed too, because it could have been external voices.
Yeah, she fears that might be happening, and so she ducks into a diner to kind of hide. She takes a booth, and a very manic, smiling waitress approaches her, and we see at a table near her an old man. Nothing terribly distinctive about him
except those piercing blue eyes.
And he's glancing it right at her.
And he has that blemish on his hand that the beautiful medical attendant had. It's the exact same blemish, and she sees that and confronts him, and he tells her that.
Well, he says things to her first that are weird, because he says, he kind of stares at her and then says, "It's long, isn't it? 7 days."
Talks in a very familiar way.
As he clearly clocked her as another substance user, and she sees all the signs on this man that he is also a substance client based on his spine. He drops his wallet and has a card pop out that has a number on it. The 20, something that you were called out of the locker.
He's the other customer in the post office.
Which, how did he get in through the door? If he looked really old and really like not good enough to like crawl down that space.
Well, if he is anything like what has happened to her finger, it's perhaps that it's just killing him.
Yeah. Right. And so she realizes not only is he a substance client, this is Smolder Twunk that recommended this to her.
Exactly. And he discloses that he followed her there, and it's just
Because he was curious how things were going for her. And then each time he says, you feel a little more lonely. And so he's trying to sort of empathize with her or like really have a conversation with her that perhaps she's not ready for yet.
Maybe even befriend her. Like they have this shared experience.
Definitely, because I mean she is lonely, but she will not really let somebody in this moment even.
But they're both going through the same thing, and he is more advanced on the timeline.
He is, and I think that's another read on like she thinks she's out of his league to a degree. Like, why would I be friends or like have this old man about? You're very different than me because she only has the finger yet, and that's why I think it is. Or I mean, I took pages of notes on this. I do think it's later that they ask if she wants to stop because right now she's not considering that. She's just kind of annoyed about her finger, as it were.
But the man asks, "Has she started yet?" Eating away at you.
Yeah.
Which just started.
Yes.
And in fact, yes. The answer is yes, she has. And it's the way that he says it. It's said with this kind of almost demonic bass reverb in his voice. There's a tone in it that's very disturbing and very attention-getting. Like it's a statement right into her brain. Just to really trouble her or bedevil her with it.
And it gets there because it sends her into a panic and she runs out of the restaurant and she ends up running into, quite literally, Troy the motorcycle man who was shirtless on the couch earlier and got fucked by Sue. But this guy treats her like shit in a stark contrast to how he fawned over Sue. And another like direct parallel of like older women, versus Sue.
It's like
he went and got his helmet from her apartment complex,
exactly. He has his helmet now.
She had thrown out into the hallway in a scene earlier.
But he's a real surly fucker. Almost runs her down with his bike.
Speeds off.
Yeah. We cut to her back at home, and she's rummaging for Fred's mud-soaked number that he scrawled on a scrap of paper
that she put in her purse, and she's trying to figure out which purse it was.
Finally finds it, and we find her in the bathroom calling him. She's just,
I think right before that she's like contemplating calling him, right? And then she gets like these little these cheesy flashbacks.
It's almost like she's.
Is that
I don't know if I wrote down that thing, but there's a face like of him that kind of pops out because he says the line that gets repeated is like, "You're the most beautiful woman in the whole world." Still, or I don't know if still is in there, but I have written down like who's the one person we've seen give her the time of day since her firing, and it's Fred.
Any affection,
literally the only one at all
kindness.
that has had this happen. And so she finds the number, and that's okay. That's when she remembers that he said to her, "She's the most beautiful girl in the whole wide world." So I didn't even read it necessarily as she was looking for Fred's number. She was looking for something maybe, but then that flashback happened, and she did call. It could easily be that though. I'll say, but she gives Fred a ring, and he's a bit shocked she called, frankly. Because, I mean, she is a big superstar, and regardless...
It's also weeks later.
For sure. It's weeks later, so she has put him off. It's not like he said, "I never thought I'd see you again," and that's a fair thing to think if you had said somebody, "Let's get a drink," or "Let's do dinner," and then heard nothing back. So it is a bit of a out of the blue for him, and it is a star. I mean, she may not see herself as that way anymore, and clearly does not, but she still has lingering fame on this, and I mean, people would know who she is. So
and no one knows what she's going through. Fred is just...
She's got nobody to talk to about it.
Yeah, Fred just naturally assumes that this is the same person he bumped into, and it's not anymore. And she has her witch's finger, and so she's got the signs of this too. And so
I think he like alludes to like something like a busy star like you, or stuff like that.
Yeah, so perhaps not aware that she's even been fired or whatnot. And so but she calls him. He's shocked, takes him up on his drink offer, and he's even more shocked by it, but he's just elated and excited, and she looks desperate, and she's almost giddy that he accepts. Like the tables have just turned that dramatically, unbeknownst to Fred, and now she's the lesser partner in this.
She needs anyone to grab onto in a storm like here in the ocean. She's got nothing, no life preserver, nobody to catch her, or to care for her in any way because she's been cast aside.
I think that parallels like a lot to real life because I always see the most beautiful girls with the not so greatest looking guys, if I'm being honest. Like, I'm like, girl, what are you doing? But girls just don't know their worth.
Well, that's the thing about beautiful people like me. We're like, we just don't have great confidence. So, it's a real dilemma I can attest to. Exactly.
It's hard being,
it's hard being
hot,
this beautiful. Yeah, it really is. And so she's back in the bathroom or still in the bathroom, but after having dressed, and she's in this just sexy red gown, and she's putting on these like sexy black gloves to cover up her finger.
Still looks good.
Yeah, but
she looks great. Yeah,
but she's clearly very concerned about her withered finger. She is taking a moment to get ready. She's putting on red lipstick. She takes
Fixing
a moment.
her hair.
Yeah, she's fixing her hair. She takes a moment to regard Sue, who's on the floor, unaware.
Big mistake.
And it is looking like Elizabeth adores her, and just in awe. It's a very loving look that Elizabeth is giving.
I don't know. What I saw, I mean, just
longing,
immediately it was like, oh, she's hot, and then she looks back in the mirror and is like, I'm not. Or
I think it was.
Down a peg.
I think it was what Tommy said. It was a very loving look to Sue, and then as soon as she catches another glimpse of herself in the mirror, she's got that realization. She's like, fuck. That's not me.
I don't look like that. I guess suppose. So fair enough.
Kind of the edge of it, the painful edge of it. Yeah. So she finishes. She's walking through the den to leave, and she sees outside her window a giant billboard of Sue and her show, just right there outside of her window, just staring her right in the face.
Before that, does she? I think.
She puts on more makeup.
Yeah, I think after she fixes something.
She walks out. She sees this billboard, and it just unravels her confidence. And she rushes back into the bathroom she looks at herself, and just disapproval on her face over a look. Puts on a scarf and adds more lipstick and adds more makeup, and try to. She does something a little different with her hair, and she leaves again. She's walking through the den.
The clock is ticking. And
she did it both times, though. Yeah. The first time she looks at Sue, more makeup. The second time she sees Sue, she goes back for more. She
goes through the den again, sees the billboard, and she's at the door, and she just can't. She can't bring herself to open it and leave, and she rushes back to the bathroom.
Because she catches a glimpse of herself on the doorknob.
Yeah. Again,
a distorted look at the best of times, mind you, but it further plays into the fact of like, I look like that essentially.
But also just
I can't go out looking like this.
Yeah, how distorted her view of herself is too, and so she rushes back to the bathroom, and this time she's just smearing the makeup off and smearing the lipstick off, and is just kind of slapping and tearing at her face, and it's
a very real and raw and powerful scene.
Yeah, she looks just crazed and wild as she's like tearing at her image.
She feels deeply inadequate in this moment, and these consecutive moments, rather.
I remember being in the theater the first time watching the scene, just praying, like please just leave that, just go on this, go on this date, please. I got goosebumps. I'm getting goosebumps right now just remembering it.
But she just can't. And this is where, if you remember that they're one and the same, it makes sense, right? She hates herself, and it's the reason she took the substance to begin with, right? If she didn't hate herself that much, she never would have done it. And she still hates herself even more.
I think it's just typical Elizabeth, though, because she has resisted human connection to date, and she has a moment of, I could be myself and have human connection. But instead of that, she falls back into the trap of, I have to be not only beautiful, but the most beautiful and the most amazing woman in this regard, because I've always been praised as that. And because I feel even knocked a peg down, if not multiple, I can't bring myself to be less than what I was. And a lot of people just cannot seem to, as they age, really accept any sort of downhill on the trajectory of it. And she's in that moment right now because she looks great. She absolutely does. And she's not to her every time she looks in the mirror.
And she's in this surreal quandary of with age, she feels the best of her has gone. but then after the substance, the best of her has been ejected from her. And so the best of her is gone doubly. It's a tragic position to be in, just both in terms of emotional state, but also just the metaphysics of what's going on. But she doesn't make it out of the door. She tears at her face crazily. We see the text messages from Fred piling up. Just it's very sad. And the scene ends with her eating cold quiche for dinner. It's just, yeah.
The text from Fred looked like, hey, where you at? I know a big star like you's gonna make a great entrance.
Yeah.
Eventually ending in, are you okay? Yeah. But she's just sitting on the side of the bed, just sad, and like, again, must
Hunched
have great
over.
inner turmoil. Yeah, hunched over again, absolutely. We've seen the shot of this just like after the hospital, where she's just kind of catatonic almost. Yeah. And notably, as she grabs the quiche, we also see a big full whole chicken there and some other food.
Yeah.
But we only see her grab the quiche before we're back to Sue here.
Yeah.
And then as Sue and Pump It Up pops out here, she bends down and feels something pop out of place on her ass, like a bulge.
There.
Maybe like a bone socket like popped out.
Yeah.
Something like I don't know.
Yeah, they're recording like a show, and the assistant director is giving her takes like contract, and we can just imagine what, like, her vagina. She's thrusting her pelvis.
That's the first thing.
In the scene, she's thrusting her pelvis like constantly at the camera, and like what the director is saying, contract, and just oh god. and so in the midst of this, we see something bulging on her buttocks or her back. It's just
it's her buttocks.
It's kind of like when Elizabeth activates, and then we start seeing the kind of writhing under her flesh. You kind of like see it again, like, oh God, what's going on?
Yeah, it's a very body horror moment, like a pocket of fat or something, because it's like spherical, sort of like pops
a pustule emerging or something. Yeah.
And she's horrified because not only
she
did
pops it
she
back
feel it,
she feels it,
but they're live on air, and like the camera guy like stops, and she's like, maybe nobody saw it, but the camera guy goes, hang on. Control room said there's something weird they saw here
on camera 2,
and they roll it back, and then everybody's staring up, and he goes, let's take it frame by frame, as she's like, I have to go back to my dressing room, like
they say I think it happened on camera 2, and then she like looks over at camera 2 to see where that camera is looking, and it's the close-up of her ass that camera is zoomed into.
Yes, it's very important that it's popped out in the ass. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
There.
And so the assistant director cues up this footage on a giant screen in the room, and everyone, all the crew, approach this, just stand there and gawk at this, like, just frame by frame dissection of the ass camera,
and you can just tell she's distressed, she's worried, sick.
Oh, absolutely.
She asked for her robe from her assistant. She's like, oh well, that's in the it's in the dressing room.
Understandably worried.
Well, then go and get it.
Yeah, it's the first time we see her like snap at somebody or really anything.
Yeah.
Her sweet persona she's created lapses in that moment because she's like, oh no, like I'm either about to be exposed or something.
But also, what kind of answer is that when you're asking for a robe? like go get me my robe. I'm half naked. I don't want to walk around the hallways mostly naked. Go
you just
get me my
can't get help these days.
Yeah,
say pump it up with assistant. No, it says pump it up with Sue. Go get me my damn robe.
Exactly. Like, I'm totally with her. Like, what kind of answer is that?
But it's also just this grotesque spectacle of this male crew approaching a TV to look at a close-up shot of her ass and just stare at every single frame of it.
Frame by frame.
It's such a lurid scene. In addition to the weird body horror aspect, there's also kind of a social horror quality to this scene in this entire film, really. It's basically misogyny, the social horror. It's just as powerful and grotesque as the body horror. component of the film.
Because she's horrified if there's a single lapse in her beauty, much like aging has done in Elizabeth, that she'll be cast aside. She'll be out on her ass, her bulging, weird ass thing going on. And so she does make it back to the dressing room. She gets a robe and ends up back there and, sort of starts feeling around to
I think she actually goes to the restroom.
To her dressing room.
She's in her dressing room.
She's in her dressing room?
Yeah.
And so she's feeling about on her ass and sort of like starts moving around the thing that's under there until she starts really sort of digging in her belly button to like extract this.
She kind of moves it towards her belly button, like she's shepherding it towards that, like it's the exit point, and we see her digging into her belly button, and the audio does the shift to where it sounds like from a stethoscope, right? As her fingers go inside her body, the audio shifts to inside her body too. It's a great element of it. But she fishes around and pulls out a freaking drumstick. It's just
chicken drumstick.
Yeah, a whole chicken leg on this, and we just saw the whole chicken in the fridge there. So but as she's pulling out the whole chicken leg there, she wakes up screaming in the dark room, having just switched back to Sue here, and she notices chicken grease on Elizabeth's face.
She had just eaten because she knows that she's not going to be well fed. Like during the 7-week period, so she decided to fill up a little bit.
And so what is maybe the first it's a very comedic moment. Sue awakens. She's assessing the aftermath once again. The one who has just switched and is now awake is assessing the aftermath of what the previous has done, and she sees just this disgusting scene of binge eating. It's just the evidence of it is everywhere. And
there's it's multiple plates around the TV, including the remains of the whole chicken, the carcass, basically. And so, I mean, again, if we're looking at this as two people, it seems like they're aware of what the other one's doing, if only through like dreams or nightmares, because Sue didn't eat this chicken thing, but she pulls it out of her, and Elizabeth didn't fuck the motorcycle guy, but she got a vision of the motorcycle. So I think that could be what's going on here, really.
Was that... Yeah. Oh, that might have been, maybe it was Sue on the ride there.
As Sue transitioned back to Elizabeth that time after fucking motorcycle guy, that is when we saw the motorcycle thing. And as we transitioned back from what just happened with Elizabeth the previous night, the chicken, we see that. And so I think they're linked, but also like, I don't know. They still seem aware to a degree or to some bit, but they still seem very different to me.
Yeah. When I experience stuff, I get dreams about it. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, it could be there are levels or there are degrees. I still,
But we
tease this out.
We get some of the mystery of the film, right? She pulls Elizabeth's drumstick out of her belly button, so it's a very, very physical connection now. We're outside of metaphor. This is just pulling the evidence out of her own body of their connectedness. It's a very in your face, heavy symbol of it. Yeah.
Can I like take a little aside, like 10 seconds here? Yes. I had a very similar dream just like last week. Like something very similar to me happened.
Oh yeah.
So I've been playing a lot of pickleball recently, and so I've been getting some calluses on my feet, and so that's been something that's been like worrying me, and I've been getting self-conscious about recently. So, and I've also been playing this game Peak, which is a little mountain climbing game, and one of the mechanics in there is that sometimes when you're in the wilderness, you can find a honeycomb and eat it. And I like the idea, but I'm like, there's bees in there. That's kind of gross. Tell me why I had a dream one night where I'm like shaving down my calluses on my toe, and there is a itty bitty tiny honeycomb that I just like pull out and drag out. Like there's a giant hole just there. It was the most disgusting thing ever, and it totally like reminded me. My friend did. In the dream, my friend was like, "I'm hungry," and I ate it because in the game Peak, there's another mechanic where there's like these ticks that you like pick off yourself, and then you eat them because you get hungry. And so it was kind of like a combination of all those things.
Are you the younger one, or are you the older one who's just taking the substance?
It's still to be determined.
I've dreamed in video game before, like when I played a lot of Call of Duty, I would dream in like first person where there's like a gun in front of me, like whatever way I'm looking, or whatnot.
Geez, when I would play too much World of Warcraft, I'd have
dreams.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That was always depressing.
I played too much of that fucking game too.
I can tell you one thing for certain. I'm the Matrix.
Yes. yes. Yeah.
Every good honeycomb callus comes from me. The Matrix.
Basil is the goop that it all comes from. That is very true. Yeah. And so back to our film review.
So this is where Sue cleans up and calls the helpline as well, saying the balance isn't working, and she barely gets any time. And she, again referring to she as Elizabeth here, sits around in front of the TV stuffing her face, but gets the same reminder that there is no she.
The same admonishment.
Yeah.
Yes, you are one and the same. Yeah, exactly. We cut to Sue on set, and we find that taping's been canceled, and
big gasp moment.
She thinks is a terrible sign that she got fired and replaced, just like her Elizabeth self.
She just started.
Right. Well, maybe my 1 week on, 1 week off isn't working anymore, and they finally canned me or whatever.
Or they found something horrible in the footage of her butt. They found the pustule or the growth or whatever. And so she's in the head office. The producer's there, and this is the first time he is actually named. I think it was like an assistant. Directs her to Harvey.
Yeah. It says Harvey wants to see you, and then she's in her sexed up workout outfit, and she's like, "Okay, I'm gonna go to my dressing room and change." And the guy says, "No, now." And so she literally walks into this lion's den of 4 older men dressed up just like a little workout harlot or whatever. And so she's very exposed, quite literally,
and to walk the hallways, kind of like a humiliation ritual.
Yeah, exactly. Like she's going up to the main office to be fired. But as it turns out, it's just more good news. She's being hired to do the big New Year's Eve show.
Because the numbers are through the roof.
Yeah, so it's just nope, everything is still looking up. Nothing weird found on the footage. It's all good.
They love you.
Everything's coming up, Sue, still. We cut to back at home in the bathroom.
Oh, but before that, he does say, like, I'm gonna need you to lock in. Like it's gonna be a lot of rehearsals, a lot of planning.
Yes.
Kind of like insinuating like that. Hey, like that 1 week on, 1 week off thing might not
disrupt the delicate balance that she has been working with.
Yes, he says it's intense. Point. There's gonna be a few months leading up to this.
Yeah, we only have a few months to plan this.
Yeah, and so we cut back to the bathroom, and Sue is extracting fluid. She's talking out loud. Of course, Elizabeth is unconscious, but she's talking about, well, an opportunity knocks. You gotta take it, right? And so
you won't get another chance. You of all people know this, she says to Elizabeth's body.
And so she extracts some fluid, and then we cut to her coming back into the sepulcher, the tomb that Elizabeth is in, and extracting more fluid. We see her like coming back from a party, or she's in a ball gown or a fancy dress, and she's just doing it again and again.
We're on the cover of Vogue.
Yeah.
At that point, she says we.
Yeah,
well, and we get hope at one point that this stops because she says, just one more day, then I have a full week off and we can switch. But we don't see that happening. She comes back again, and without switching, gets even more. And the extraction point notably gets more inflamed and bruised.
And putrid looking.
It's a very gross situation.
Infected.
It's getting necrotic.
Infected is a good word for this on this.
And
so, that switch should not take place. Sue comes back, and that's when she says, we're doing the cover of Vogue. And so she does say we. But easy for her to say when the other we is face down and infected and just getting all this delicious food matrix while she's out living her life and doing great stuff out there. And she says just one more day. It's gross. And this last day when she says that after the Vogue thing, she has to sort of more forcibly jam it in the pussed up, disgusting entryway. Yeah, but she jams it in there.
She's grossed out by it.
Yeah, she is. Yeah. She sees this. It's not like she doesn't know, but she takes what she wants though. Still, so
we get an image of Sue on the bed, and it's these beautiful black silken sheets, but it's and it was red with Elizabeth. Now it's black, kind of like her dragon robe, right? We see her in, we saw in previously, it and with our color palette, right? We've had so many colors in their implications, and black it's always what adorns her when she's being particularly sinister, right? Like her black leather outfit, the black dragon robe, and now these silken, like velvety black sheets that she's really feeling herself and on the bed, just feeling beautiful and whatnot. But they switch. They finally switch.
And we don't even see it at first. We hear Elizabeth's reaction upon finally waking up for this. Just a tortured scream.
She awakens in horror.
She could not believe what she had just done to herself.
And we see the results. Her left leg from the knee down is as gnarled as her finger was. Her hair is gray. Half of her face is aged.
Kind of like she had a stroke.
Yeah. She looks just terrible. Like she has just aged dramatically and in the
like
worst way.
Like a witch almost, like a swamp witch.
Yeah, like her youth has been pulled out of her, and very much looks like it this time.
And this is, yes, when she calls in again to support, saying she is not respecting the balance and is asked if she'd like to stop. This is the first time. But the guy further says, would you like to stop? You are the Matrix, and at any point can end this, apparently. Sue cannot just call it quits, because then Sue would just cease to be, presumably. But she would just go back to being just herself. And so it does give her pause, because something awful has happened to her. But to the point of, is this the same person? We're all experiencing the same thing. She does not perhaps want to give up the Sue of it all. And so it's difficult to untangle that to a degree. But...
and when the voice is talking, it doesn't sound like it's through the phone. It's very present in this moment, almost like it's in the room with her, like a person is speaking just slightly off camera. Just another great moment of audio effects in the film, right? When presented with this. With kind of the reverse devil's deal, right? It's to unwind or stop what's happened. The voice is very present. It's not just giving advice. It's like seducing her with another deal. Almost.
Now she does think about it. She does ask, like, if we stop now, can I go back to the way that I was?
Yes, that's what I was about to say. She for sure, we get the vibe that she would stop if she could go back and make this choice and go straight back to herself that we saw at the beginning of the movie. But now that she can't quite reverse this, she weighs it and is like, because she sees a billboard of Sue. She looks up at the giant billboard and sort of sees I guess I'm not going to stop, but the balance needs to be respected. And that's when the voice says, so respect it, and then just hangs up on her.
He was tired of her, both of hers.
And while still talking to him, she starts saying something like, well, she just can't, and then she catches herself. Like she starts finally speaking of them as the same person, finally. And perhaps with the consequences of this really becoming present, it does now very much dawn on her, they are the same person. What one is doing to herself is now, it's something is happening to her as a result. Kind of like the chicken bone coming through Sue's belly button. This is kind of that.
But it's very one-way harm because, even the self-harm or binge eating that Elizabeth does not transfer to Sue necessarily, but what Sue does sort of harms Elizabeth here.
Maybe.
It's not a full give and take. It is a take on Sue's part, and it is a give on Elizabeth.
They are exchanging blood, so maybe like high blood pressure could play into that, like sodium, cholesterol levels.
We could imagine it, or at least Sue fears this, right? That Elizabeth is going to ruin her somehow because of what Elizabeth is doing to herself. If they are the same person and they have to switch blood, and
maybe the influence, the like if she starts to gain weight, maybe Sue would follow in those steps.
If they are one and the same, then Sue would of course be worried about this happening to her, and Elizabeth cannot avoid the fact they are one and the same because her body is being ravaged just who knows after how long, but we get the sense that it has been, like weeks or so.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So yeah.
This is where she spies the actual gift on the shelf from Harvey and goes to check it out. A little something to keep you busy, like flashes again on there.
What could it be?
Yeah, but before this, she's sitting watching TV. She's super haggard and just looks awful, and her leg is so stiff that she can't even stand up.
Oh, yeah,
so she has to break it into usefulness.
I wouldn't say she broke it. I think she just had to unstiffen it.
Right.
But the sound is so awful. It's like
there's lots of cracking.
It's something she's never been familiar with because she's never been this old or like aged. Her body has betrayed her a little bit in this way.
It wasn't like a gradual thing.
Because she wanted just to stand up, but her body would not let her, and so she had to. It's awful.
She's aggressively aging.
Because she spies the gift. She's trying to get to it with that, but her knee, now gnarled joint of the knee.
The book that she received from Harvey's wife, by way of Harvey, it's a book of French cuisine, and she's looking through it, and it just has all these disgusting recipes in it for like blood sausage and foie gras and things with like brains,
veal brains, to boot. But
it's just all these just
what a misogynistic gift as well. like hey, like you're not gonna be on the TV. What are you gonna do? You're gonna go back home and you're gonna cook. You're gonna cook and keep a home.
You're gonna be a domestic woman for once. Yeah,
and it's also insulting to a degree because when you say everybody chipped in for this for a book, everybody chipped in for a book.
Cookbook. Everyone gave me $1.
I didn't get like a golden watch or anything like a lot of men get in their retirement gifts. I got a cookbook, and so it is a very disgusting, insulting, misogynist moment to see happen, and more disgusting because again it's very much discussing food in the way that this film is very much prone to do. I don't know if somebody has issues with food, or this just plays into the needing to stay beautiful and thin, and food is disgusting metaphor or something perhaps in there. But
we can imagine food is something that she was not allowed to indulge in while she was in her career, and now that she isn't, she's really taking to it almost vengefully to spite Sue in her career arc.
And again, her fulfilling her motherly role in this, like being at home, cleaning up after Sue, cooking.
And cooking, but it's taken on a real edge now.
They spun it.
And we get this. I love this scene. It's Elizabeth in the kitchen cooking, but Sue's on TV in the background being interviewed, like on a late night talk show.
Late-night show. I believe it's just called The Late Night Show.
Yeah.
Generic.
Elizabeth is just mocking the shit out of her. Just, ooh, your family. And then when Sue says something about, it's always been my dream to be on TV, she angrily retorts, that's my dream to be on TV.
They're like, what's your secret?
Yeah. She's asked by the interviewers, what can you, just share one of your beauty secrets with us? To which Elizabeth angrily responded, "It's me. I'm the secret." But she's just really
tell him,
just riling herself up.
And because we don't know
pissed off at this interview,
Elizabeth's backstory, we're not sure if Sue is entirely claiming it. Essentially, because Sue gives her like, I grew up on a farm or whatever in Indianapolis or Indiana rather, and just not even a city, not even a village, just a farm. And, like I would perform for my parents, and Elizabeth's back, my parents and stuff. Just being a little shitty about it. But we don't know if she's being shitty because she's also basically stealing her own life and story in this, or if she made it up whole cloth, frankly.
It almost kind of sounds like Superman, like he grew up on a farm, and I guess that's true, but where did he come from? It's just kind of reminded me of that. It's just like kind of her superhero backstory. It's fake. It's probably a lie, but who knows?
And notably, while she's doing this and being, mocking Sue and stuff, she's like clenching a turkey and stuff, and like this is very visceral food. Like, she jams her fucking arm up the turkey to like rip out the organs because she's making a turkey stuffed with foie gras.
Crashing eggs. Like,
the egg thing comes up, just right after this, which is just
the chicken. There's a contrast with her and that chicken.
It was a turkey.
Yeah, like a turkey, and there's she's going at that turkey in a rage, and Sue is on screen. It's her body on display, and she's in a stretch position, like in repose, and the parallel is just great. You have Elizabeth just tearing at this turkey while Sue's body is being shown, and sticking her hand inside it, kind of like when Sue was sticking her hand to find the drumstick, and Elizabeth pulls out all the gizzards and guts. It very much parallels that scene, but it's just this fleshy, nasty, carnal image set in parallel to the vision of Sue's body, right? It's like these dueling carnalities. It's just great. And then the interview is going on while all this is happening. Elizabeth is still mocking Sue and her very coy answers. Sue is asked if she was a fan of Elizabeth's show, like the person that she replaced, and she says, I never really watched it, and calls it Jurassic Fitness.
Her mom watched it.
Yeah, she says, but my mom watched it, just to really highlight the age condescension.
And she says they're not from the same generation, and you have
we're not
a bit
exactly
old-fashioned, And while this is happening, Elizabeth has moved on to whipping a bowl of eggs, or I forget the name of this electronic thing, the spinning deal there, but she has a huge bowl of eggs.
The emulsifier?
Well, she's got like a hand blender.
It's something like
hand
that.
Mixer.
Exactly, the mixer. That word escaped me, but she's got a big bowl of eggs, and eggs also a big part of this, the motif and what's going on. And as the egg that came from her and the egg of the substance and whatnot, she is just angrily mixing and blending this essentially with that, and it's getting all over her face and hair and whatnot. It's very disgusting and visceral, again, with food, as she's just getting angrier and angrier. It's just the things that Sue is saying, because if they are one, Sue probably didn't have to be that bitchy. Sue could have said, yes, I watched it with my mom, or I watched it and I honor her in some way, just in actual. But
there's just stink on everything she says about it.
Oh yeah,
and just the image of the eggs too. It's in the beginning of the film, the ejection of the substance and the egg splits, and the yolk splits into two, and now we have the bowl full of all these yolks, and Elizabeth is angrily combining them. These eggs are one, and it's by way of Elizabeth's rage at it, right? But the symbol is playing out very aggressively for her, and why not? The effects are very terrible for her, right? She knows that they're one because of what's happened to her, right? And the eggs are just this very just an angry symbol of it in this moment.
And I mean, it gets even more so because she starts lobbing eggs at the TV and at the windows and stuff. Sue says, when what is this? What is your beauty secret? And Elizabeth's angrily yelling, it's me. I'm your beauty secret. And she's had it with that stuff.
She also takes newspaper to blot out the billboard from the window, so
she uses eggs as glue for.
Yes.
And so I think this next part is a really, really well shot out scene where they're able to complete each other's sentence. How does Elizabeth start it?
Yeah. So Elizabeth, she's in the bathroom, looking in the mirror and yelling at herself. She's telling control yourself. Control yourself, and then in the middle of that sentence,
you've got to.
Yeah, you've got to control yourself.
I think you just get that you've got to, and then
middle of the sentence, it's Sue back finishing the sentence, but
screaming, fuming.
And before that happens, we get a super cool fucking shot of Elizabeth, Demi laying on the shower floor, where there's no exit to the shower, and it's just a very tall. The camera pulls back like an incredibly tall shower. It was an amazing shot on that. She's slamming her head against the floor, saying this, and then you get Sue screaming of control yourself, because she sees the wreckage of the apartment.
Elizabeth's cooking bonanza, and
she left an entire mess for her.
And so this really sets Sue off. She in a rage after the switch, just extracts one vial of fluid from Elizabeth after another, basically just sucking her dry.
She brings all the jars in that she can find in the house, too.
Never switching back.
Yeah. No, she's getting her revenge for what she imagines Elizabeth is doing to her.
And she calls Elizabeth gross, fat, old, and disgusting while jamming the syringe into her. Like, no more gentleness to this. There's no more. Yeah. In Sue's mind, we're not one. You are my little cow to be milked for my stabilizer fluid.
They are now in full adversarial mode at this point. They are one and the same, but these two parts are fully antagonistic. At this point, it was always kind of the subtext of this. Why would she take the substance otherwise if she didn't have this conflict? And now it's just full blown hostile. Sue is sucking Elizabeth dry, basically out of revenge, but also just to further her career. And the scene ends like a pullout, like they're in a tunnel. And the camera is retreating back into the darkness, and it's a really striking visual of the grim decision making that is happening. And
and we see this is the opposite of balance, but then we get a 3 months later title card pop up here.
So next chapter, I suppose, right? 3 months later. So again, if they haven't switched in 3 months. That's bad. That's missing it 12 times or so. Yeah, that's presumably super, super bad. We can only imagine what would happen to Elizabeth after seeing what's already happened. But
and we see that she's using the food matrix for self and other, just put it all into Elizabeth, and it's clearly been going to get the refills and whatnot. So she's keeping her cow alive, but it's just her old gross cow that she calls.
Exactly.
We imagine it's December 31st.
It's the day before the big show, the New Year's Eve show. So. And
or the day leading up to it.
Yeah, we see a new bundle of roses on the table, kind of like before when Elizabeth was fired. This one says,
"They are going to love you.
Break a leg.
They are going to love you instead of you were great." Very, very keenly.
It's more a statement about the coming future versus something that's past now. So different tense, just a very different bouquet of flowers for sure. Break a leg, kind of ironic after what happened to Elizabeth when she had to break her leg to just get up again. So not quite a friendly saying. Okay, well that was part 2, and I think that maybe we're getting towards the end. It's so much to talk about with this film. It's so crazy. I don't even know where to start and where to end. We have so much more to talk about.
I think we're just getting started.
Yeah, we perhaps are.
It's a very discussable film.
Yeah.
And so we have more to say, and we will see you in the next episode of this.
All right, stay tuned. Part 3 is coming up next.